minutes in. Carry on Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Johns Farms Paddock Stakes.
A warm welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. We're a week away from the first leg of the Triple Crown and the Wilgeborstdrift Triple Tiara. Could we have another champion in our midst? Well, it's all going to be exciting racing over the next couple of months here on the Highveld, and certainly looking forward to it. Right now though, let's take a look at what we've got in store for you on tonight's show. We catch up with Heinrich Rix about Royal Mo. John Costa chats to Fee about the relationship between Klavervlei and Stonehill Stud. We review the Rijntjesfontein horses in training sales. And last but not least, we enjoy some fun moments from last Wednesday's Vasco's panel discussion.
Il est bel, incroyable ici. La police qui va enlever l'Arc de Triomphe. 5e victoire dans la course pour Frankie Ettori.
Is storming home. One of the last possible gasps for the Challenger thriller. What a finish to the Melbourne Cup. Brave is under pressure when they turn in. It's been a relentless run, Cup. Who's going to be the last man standing?
Saxon on through, then Wings of Eagles, here's the Moa, Wings of Eagles swooping though, and Wings of Eagles gets up to win!
His 3,000th winner.
Vodacom, Durban, July.
Gauteng Sansui Samarkand.
Grade 3 winner and Grade 1 placed winner Royal Mo suffered an injury 6 days prior to the Grade 1 Preakness Stakes. He was retired to stud almost immediately after surgery. We take a look at Royal Mo and chat to Heinrich Rix from Stonehill Stud on how he got his hands on the superb specimen.
The team have taken a road trip out to Klavervlei Stud this morning. It's always lovely to be here, and I must say the farm is looking absolutely magnificent. Now we've got the exciting news that Royal Mo will be coming here to stand at Klavervlei Stud, and the man behind that is Heinrich Rix, who's with me this morning. Heinrich, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's lovely to see you, and we've got the great news of Royal Mo joining the ranks here at Klavervlei Stud. Now, how did that come about?
Thank you, Fee. Thanks for having me on the show. It's actually quite an exciting story. Towards September last year, I spoke to Grant Knowles. Actually wanted a reference on an agent that I had considered buying a horse through. And so Grant said, well, that's coincidental because John Costa was also interested in horse sourcing horse at the same time. And he referred me to John. So I came down here one day to Klavervlei and paid John a visit here on the farm. It's always nice to come here, like you know. And John initiated my interest into Royal Mo and said that they were considering buying the stallion and that they were in negotiations. But at the time, I think John and Klavervlei decided that they've got too many young stallions just coming into their breeding operation, which is obviously Coup de Gras, Red Ray, William Longsword, and in the end they decided not to proceed with Royal Mo. So I was quite disappointed in their decision not being able to participate in a horse of that stature. And so I sulked for 2 or 3 days, and then I phoned John up and said, well, is it okay if I continue the negotiations with all the interested parties? So that's actually where this whole process started.
It's fantastic. And when can we expect him in the country?
I think he leaves Europe because obviously stallions out of breeding stock out of America now have to go via Europe and stay there for I think 60 days at least before they can come into South Africa. So he leaves on the 3rd of March and hopefully he'll be on the 4th in Joburg and go into quarantine there, and then from there he'll come down here to Klavervlei.
Well, he's a very lightly raced horsey, but he has a great record and a beautiful pedigree as well.
Yes, so I'd actually been following Uncle Mo prior to being introduced to Royal Mo, and just saw his great success, and obviously having a son at stud now like Nyquist. So I immediately sat up straight when I got introduced to Royal Mo, and Alistair Brown gave me lots of information about the horse, and I researched him a little bit, so it was very exciting. In October last year, my daughter and myself, we actually went over to Win S4 E18. We stood after he had his surgery because he had shattered a sesamoid just prior to the Preakness.
Absolutely, and that sort of ended his racing career, unfortunately.
That ended his racing career. And, you know, when they have surgery, it's not a guarantee that they will survive that, because IRAP, who coincidentally competed against Royal Mo, also had the same surgery, and he got laminitis and they had to put him down.
But it's fantastic having Uncle Mo stallion himself as well.
Yes, no, it is. So we actually visited Uncle Mo just at Coolmore at Ashford in Kentucky, and a very imposing horse. I think Royal Mo takes a lot after him. You can see the resemblance between the two, and yes, very excited for him to come here to Klavervlei. So obviously we're being asked how did we make this decision on the horse coming to Klavervlei. So to a large extent, you know, John Costa for me has always represented Klavervlei, and we've built up a very nice relationship over time, and I wouldn't have got into this horse if it hadn't been for John.
And of course you've been involved in racing for many years in the name of Stonehill.
Yes, I think Stonehill, you know, we're a very small operation. We don't have the infrastructure. We could never stand a stallion like that in our own right. It wouldn't do justice to the horse, and we wouldn't get the opportunities that he would if we had to try and stand him. So, you know, it's not about Stonehill. It's about doing what's best for Royal Mo.
You've got a beautiful logo for Royal Mo. Just tell us a little bit about it, because it's a very interesting logo and it's got a lot involved in it.
Yeah, so obviously we have a business that does corporate identities for our own environment and for products. But Royal Mo being royal, the Royals always have a crest that identify them. So if you look at this logo, that crown up there actually represents royalty. And if you look towards the bottom of the logo, there's a heart, and that is because he's actually a Valentine's baby. He's born on Valentine's Day, being a Northern Hemisphere horse. And then if you look at the rest of the crest, this horse is looking back to his heritage, where he comes from, what he's achieved as a racehorse. This horse is looking into his future, his potential as a stallion at stud. Those colours on there actually represent the colours that he raced in, which coincidentally are were the same owners as Zenyatta and the same colours that Zenyatta raced in. And that little diamond in there is the only thing that connects him to Stonehill, which is the diamond on our racing colours.
Well, it's fantastic. It's very eye-catching. I love all the colours. So it's really, really exciting times ahead. We'll be seeing quite a lot more of you down here at Claverplay.
Yeah, I'll obviously come and visit him, and I have a few mares in partnership with Claverplay. So yes, hopefully we'll find time to come down here.
And he looks to be a stallion that will suit the South African mares.
Yes, Alistair Brown has done some analysis on some of the mares. He's got a very good knowledge of the bloodlines that are in South Africa. And from that, it looks like he's virtually outcrossed for about 80% of the mares in the country.
Well, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see him in the flesh when he arrives here at Claverplay. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat to us this morning, and all the best with Royal Mo. Now we'll hand back to Julie Alexander in the studio.
Royal Mo will be joining some of the country's top stallions at Claverplay Stud. John Costa tells us about the relationship between Stonehill Stud and Claverplay.
Well, thank you, Julie. It's lovely to be back here at Claverplay Stud. I'm now chatting with John Costa about the exciting arrival of Royal Mo. John, having spoken to Heinrich Rix about how it came about that Royal Mo is coming to Claverplay, it's a fantastic story just behind that.
It is, and this game's always about people and the horses, isn't it? And Heinrich's been a great supporter at Claverplay. We've got mares of his here, and he's so passionate about this game. Alistair Brown, who we know has brought in fantastic stallions into South Africa, can really find a stallion. We think of Fort Wood, El Mufti, amongst a host of others. And Alistair brought this horse to us, and it was just at that stage of our careers where it just didn't. We had a bunch of new stallions at stud, and we're very, very sad that we probably were gonna miss this horse. And in stepped Heinrich, and it was just amazing. I was in France at the Deauville sales, and I got a phone call. I was sitting with Peter Doyle having dinner, and it was Heinrich on the phone, and he said, "John, I've got good news and I've got bad news." I said, "Well, don't even give me the bad news, just give me the good news." He says, "I've secured Royal Mo," and well, I mean, that absolutely made our day.
Well, let's just go back to the history of Royal Mo and how it all started out in America. David Ngordo was obviously the bloodstock agent that secured him in the first place.
Yes, David Ngordo, one of the most respected horsemen and agents in the world. He bought a Zenyatta for Jerry and Ann Moss, and he ended up buying a Royal Mo as well for $300,000 as a yearling in those days, and that was long before Uncle Mo was the type of horse that he's turned out to be, the type of stallion he's turned out to be. So David's got a great eye for a horse, and I had a long chat to David about this particular horse, and he was telling me about John Sheriffs, who apparently is a very quietly spoken man. And John Sheriffs was of the opinion that Royal Mo is without doubt the best horse that he trained after Zenyatta. I mean, that's massive, massive words. So as it always is, your luck comes from somebody else's bad luck. Thankfully, the horse survived his accident. And we are now happily have an Uncle Mo stud in South Africa.
It's fantastic, and I mean he's lightly raced, but he earned quite a bit of money through his 6 starts for 2 wins and 2 fair places.
Well, he did, Fee, and his run in the Santa Anita Derby was magnificent. He was drawn 13, so he was running wide the whole way. Gary Stevens dropped his whip. The horse that beat him, Gormley, was actually syndicated by David to go to Spendthrift Farm. And the horse that ran second, Battle of Midway, went on to win Group 1s after that. And David again told me that there's no question in his mind Royal Mo was a better horse than Gormley. So that's huge words from the man who actually bought the horse.
And Uncle Mo stallion himself, and he's pretty special. He rates up with the top stallions.
Well, Uncle Mo has just been a phenomenon, a real phenomenon. Bill Oppenheimer, who's probably one of the most respected gurus of the game, stated that the start that Uncle Mo's had at stud is in the same league as Stormcat and Danzig and AP Indy. Now, Fee, I don't have to tell you about those 3 stallions. To be compared in that league puts Uncle Mo into the sort of value of about a 2.9 billion rand horse. And I pulled a few stats because I thought, let's go and have a good look to see. The king of America is Tappet. The king in Europe is Galileo. So with Arian, you're going to pull up the stallion stats of exactly the same time in their careers. And it was very interesting because Tappet, at this stage of Uncle Mo's career, had 16% stakes winners to runners. Galileo 11.5% stakes winners to runners. And Uncle Mo 18% stakes winners to runners. When you go at graded stakes, Tappet at 7.7%, Galileo 7.2%, and Uncle Mo a massive 8.3% at the same time in their careers. So there's no question that Uncle Mo is boxing right up there with the greats. And once again, to have a son of Uncle Mo in South Africa is massive, and all thanks to Heinrich.
Yeah, those stats are quite phenomenal. And to have Royal Mo standing here, I mean, what does that mean for Cloverflay? It's going to be amazing.
It is, Fee. It's our vision to stand as wide a range of stallions as we can. We regard ourselves as a stallion station. Our vision going forward is to be all-encompassing for everybody in South Africa. If you're looking for a son of the mighty Tappet, the address is Cloverflay. If you're looking for a son of Uncle Mo, the same address. Roberta's sire line is dying out in the world. Yet, at the same address, Cloverflay stud, we are really pushing hard to revive the Roberta sire line, and we know that we're in with a good chance for that. So yeah, we want to be the kind of stud and the kind of stallion station where anybody in South Africa is looking for any range of blood that they can get. They need to know they can come to the same address.
Well, he's certainly got the pedigree, he's got a great race record and the confirmation to go with it by the looks of things.
I think once everybody has seen this horse, from what I've heard, and once again speaking to David who understands confirmation, I mean, this is close to a 17-hand horse, high horse. He is a beast of a horse according to everybody, and he is beautiful to go with it. We asked Tom Thornbury, who does our CTS inspections, to go and have a look at the horse, and he just sent me an email back and he just said, wow, you will love him. So yeah, very exciting Fee. I think he's going to be a great outcross to a lot of our broodmares, and I know that he'll improve on confirmation and that there'll be good sales horses as well.
And you're expecting him to arrive anytime soon?
Anytime soon. Obviously, it's a long, arduous trip. It's very unfair to show a horse to anybody when he's come out of quarantine, so we will get him ready and prepare him for the Cloverflay Stallion Day. And as I say, it'll be all-encompassing. We'll invite the whole of South Africa who's interested to come and have a look.
Well, I can't wait to see Royal Mo at this next Stallion Day, and I wish you all the best, John, with Royal Mo. I think everyone's going to be queuing up for him. Well, Julie, it's been really, really interesting this morning speaking to Heinrich and John Costa here at Cloverflay Stud, and everyone is super excited to see the new stallion on the block, Royal Mo.
Glenn Cotson trains at Woodhill Racing Estate, situated in the Paarl Winelands, an ideal location to pre-train and train equine athletes. The 30-hectare estate is a fully equipped professional training property with large green paddocks, hot walkers, 2 tracks, starting stalls, and Glenn has access to the Melkhorst Beach, where he regularly transports the horses to enjoy the cold, therapeutic Cape Ocean. Throughout the last decade, Glenn has produced multiple graded winners, including Badger's Gift, the TBA Paddock Stakes Grade 1, Big City Life, Vodacom Durban July, Lady Windermere won the South African Filly Sprint, as well as the Garden Province Stakes. Princess Victoria won the Allan Robinson Championship and the Garden Province Stakes. Glenn currently has Gold Standard, a striking son of champion sire Trippy, and an outstanding 3-year-old son of Dynasty, Eyes Wide Open. Glenn Cotson bases his principles on a good work ethic with the backing of a professional team, attention to detail, family values, and good friends.
The horses in training sale at Randkiesfontein took place a fortnight ago with some great bargains on offer. Andrew Bond brings us this report.
Well, it's a kind of cool and overcast day here at Randkiesfontein, but you can bet your bottom dollar that in the next few hours it's going to be bright sunshine, plenty of people, plenty of horses and lots of excitement, because Grant Knowles and his team of Central Route Trading Merry Men and Merry Women are going to be here to sell some horses on behalf of Chris van Niekerk and Paul Peter. The purpose of which is to get new bloodstock in and move the horses that are not performing particularly well in this racing jurisdiction onto weaker centres, onto different types of endeavour, whether that's breeding or whether that's show jumping or whatever the case may be. Chris van Niekerk, of course, is one of the main initiators of the sale, and we're going to be able to speak to a couple of people who are participating in the sale. We'll speak to Grant Knowles himself, Sean Tarry, and anybody else who finds himself a bargain. The horses and training dispersal sale here at Randkiesfontein.
Once again, on behalf of Central Route Trading, Grant Knowles and his team, a very warm welcome here today to Randkiesfontein. Here we go. There she is. Await the dawn at a winner again in the week. 10,000 to start. Who says? 10,000. All right, anybody go watch here now? Anybody go 40, 30 or 20? Unknown quantities. 15,000. I'm going to go 15,000 now. 17. 15,000, yes. At 15,000, I'm going to sell left-handed. At 15,000, now 17 bid. 17, 20. 20,000, I'm going to 20 bid. At 20,000 is what I'm getting going. Got to go 20, 22. Bid get 22 now. At 22, you've been with me all the way. I'll let you in for one. I'll let you in for one. 23 if you like, but I'm going to sell at 22,000 going this time. At 22,000, I'm going to sell it. She goes now, bidding for 22,000 and sold. Rolly, thank you very much. Your man, 22,000 buys.
Very auspicious occasion. You must be well pleased with the venue, with the turnout.
Yeah, it's the venue that lends itself to having a horses in training sale, and a big thank you to all the guys that came out. We had a great support system here from Kimberley, some from Durban. The guys really came to the party here, and I think it's a sale that has a place because obviously people need to clear out stables to get younger horses in, which is the case of someone like Sean Tarry and Chris van Niekerk. And then there's other guys that also just need to keep things turning over, and it's a great market for the Mauritians as well. So yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with how things panned out.
You know, the value of today was exceptional, a good value for buyers. Whoever sold is crying tonight. We bought 6 horses for, I think, less than 30,000. And it's good horses, nice, well-bred horses, horses with form. So for a buyer's market, exceptional prices.
When you go to the national yearling sales and you see these horses come into the ring, untried, untested, they go for vast sums of money. It's got a majestic pedigree, but just hasn't performed for some reason.
It's nice to give these horses another chance, another opportunity in a weaker centre. And a lot of these horses have been trying at the top game here in Johannesburg in a very tough centre. For them to go to Kimberley, which is another thriving economy for Pumalelo, and the turnovers internationally from that centre are growing all the while. So yeah, it's actually nice. I look at it in a positive way and say, you know, it gives them another lease on life and it gives them another opportunity.
If you add up the price of those horses that you bought at the national yearling sales, that are probably over 400,000 rand.
Yeah, maybe on average 400,000. It was incredibly cheap today, so it's a brilliant sale today. I'll support them again, definitely.
I bump into a guy and they say that good horses find you, you don't find him. He's bought a Silvano filly out of an Iliador mare for 12,000 rand, a mare called Kokobit. I think he's bought himself a bargain.
He has indeed, because she's got paddock value even if she doesn't race again. So yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of bargains to be had here.
If that's the solder you're referring to, then that's really a good price. I mean, if I had a bit spare, I would have done it myself. But you know, the costs all add up, and I think it's really good value. But I mean, at the end of the day, the sale doesn't have to be about the 5 and the 10s and the 12 granders. At the end of the day, there's some nice horses here, and you don't have to move them on when they're at the bottom of the barrel. There's good times to move them on while there's still a lot of racing in them, and I think a lot of horses were like that today.
I think the Mauritians did really well. If they were buying them straight out the stables, they would have paid probably a lot more than what they paid for some of these individuals. So yeah, I think it bodes well for this sale to continue, and yeah, we'll be back here next year.
Oh, Andrew, I mean, a change is as good as a holiday, and you know, how do you get a horse to be successful? You change little things to get the right recipe. So the buzzword is definitely change, and Yeah, some horses will appreciate it and some horses won't. So change is always a positive thing.
You know, for us to be dealing with likes of Sean and Chris and Paul Peters' yard and getting some assistance to them to move horses on to newer and greener pastures maybe, and pastures which they might be suited to, I think it bodes well for the industry.
Well, it's been a thoroughly successful afternoon here at Randfontein, with 33,000 Rand being the average price of the purchases at this horses in training sale. The aggregate of the sale was 2.46 million, and we've also had a chance to speak to Grant Knowles about his approach to this particular sale, the endeavours and certainly the value of purchasing horses in training here at Randfontein.
The Prawn to be Wild, Vasco's Prawn Festival, took place yesterday at Kenilworth Racecourse and once again had huge support. For the first time, however, this year they had a panel discussion at Vasco's, which turned into some fun with the Breeding to Win team.
Right, and a very good evening and welcome to Vasco's. It's one of the highlights of the year for the team to come through to the Vasco Tavern and have a couple of drinks and obviously enjoy their fine cuisine. And a big thank you to Bryn Ressel and his team. It's certainly a fantastic opportunity to be involved in the Prix de Cap race day that takes place out at Kenilworth on Saturday as well. I've got an esteemed panel with me. We're going to be taking you through the course. Justin from Mark, great that you can join us. I know you're a bit of a regular here. You've probably had more peri-peri chickens here than Graham Smith.
Yeah, but not even close to as many as Charles Pretorius has had. He's coming from Johannesburg, so good to see you here, brother.
I believe he's got a new sponsor for Turf Talk, and it's Weight Watchers.
Yeah, I can believe that. But yeah, Vasco is a great place. Obviously, we do a lot of Breeding to Win stuff here, and good to get onto the panel. And we'll just prep up the big race meeting coming on Saturday. Every year, it's a massive hit. Huge crowd pulls into the course, so another fine card of racing, and looking forward to the day.
And not to forget as well, you've got plenty of prawns on offer. You've got the seafood, different outlets as well. There should be great food on offer out at Kenilworth as well. Now, when Bryn asked me to maybe look at getting pit stain on it, I thought I'd better just substitute that and get somebody with a bit of glamour and good looks as well. And next to Justin, we've got Fiona Ramsden. Thank you very much, Fee.
Thank you very much for having me. I love being at Vasco's. It's always a fantastic vibe. And as Justin said, we do quite a bit of our Breeding to Win things here for the show. Great vibe. I'm really looking forward to the season's finale on Saturday. I think it's going to be a great day's racing.
It should be a fantastic day. Now, a guy who's sporting quite a few of Bryn Ressel's colours on Saturday with no particular pressure on you, Pitt. But welcome to the panel. I don't think you've done too many panel discussions before, have you? Well, not in English anyway.
That's always my first one.
Anyway, you've got some nice runners on the day. You must be looking forward to the card. And Bryn's given you some nice support and he's got some nice runners with you.
Yeah, I think they all got chances. It depends. Yeah. As long as they run in the first three, I'll be happy.
No pressure at all. And then Vasco sponsored Jockey Right on the far right. Well, for me, it's on the far right. Corne, thanks very much for joining us, and we look forward to getting some info on your particular right.
Pleasure. Thanks, Grant.
Well, but ladies and gentlemen, now's the time to get the information that you really want. I'm going to go through the panelists and I'm going to get their best bets on the card, and obviously these are the ones that you want to really take seriously. So I'll start with you, Justin. I want a best bet for you and a best value bet.
I think the best bet on the card is in race 4, number 1, Man About Town. And sure, value bet is I'd go with World Mission in the 9th against my own horse, so that tells you everything you need to know. But I like that horse quite a bit at a price.
Okay, best value World Mission, race number 9, race 4, number 1, Man About Town, the best bet. Fiona, your best bet?
Can't go the same, can I?
And it can be a Jody horse as well,
Pete's got such a strong hand. I mean, I love Rose and Bloom for the main race, and I like number 1 a lot, World Mission in the 9th.
Okay, so there we go. The best bet is going to be Rose in Bloom.
Yep.
And then you're going to go World Mission as well for best value. Pete, best bet. You've got to say race 4, number 1.
If I got to go, it's within the jungle. And then obviously Man About Town, waiting for rain. I do fancy all my horses. I do give them a chance to win. The only one that I hesitate a little bit about is Anina, because she's drawn 9, but they all 4 horses, 5 horses I got running, they're all very well, and we're all right there. So.
Would you be surprised if the guys here went to Betting World upstairs on Saturday and they said, we want to take an all to come, every one of Pit Stain's horses to run a drum, to run a place?
Perfect. Spot on.
There we go. There's a bet for you guys. Pit Stain, 5-timer, all for a place. I tell you what, he'll be here, he'll be drinking plenty of Brandewijn as well, I can assure you of that. Corner, your best bet?
Rod, I'm really reluctant to tell you this because Justin picked it as well. However, I'm not going to go against Richard Free, drawn 1, Springman, and Stan over here. He's had a brandy already. I'm not going to go against that. But yeah, I agree with Justin. I think Man About Town on the 4, drawn 1, Richard Free. How can you go wrong?
Fantastic stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here at Vasco's tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope we've given you some valuable information. A great race as well, with Janubi winning, with Whiskey Baron back in 4th, and also Noah from Goa back in 3rd. Enjoy the rest of the hospitality that Vasco's has to offer. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be having a few drinks, certainly Peters, and we look forward to seeing you at Kenilworth out on Saturday as well. It should be a fantastic day's racing. Thanks for joining us.
Marsh Shirtliff is a great friend of Bryn Russell's and co-owner with him in many horses, and a regular here at Vasco da Gama. And Marsh, we've had a fantastic evening tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, I thought it was stunning. You addressed the day very well, and it's good to be here as always.
It is always a great vibe, and the racing people love coming here, and I can absolutely see why I'm always made to feel so welcome. And of course, we've got a big day on Saturday, the Vasco race day, and it looks to be a great card.
Yes, they have a big day, and I've heard a number of the racing personalities tell me that second, maybe only to the Queen's Plate, they love this day. And it is certainly a superb day, and I wish Bryn, the Vasco, every success on the day. We've got a few runners. I don't think there's anything that's too great, but we'll take whatever comes our way and enjoy the day, as we always do.
But it's been a super season, and as I said, it's always nice to just have that last little bit of a decent race and a nice way to go out.
Well, for myself, Bryn, and our partners, I must say it's been a most amazing season. Probably our best, my best ever, and that spans a number of years, as you would imagine. So, yeah, it's been absolutely tremendous, and it's a nice way to see the season off as such.
And Vasco's, to me, just goes from strength to strength. It's getting bigger and bigger and better. The food's delicious, the wine's delicious, and the company.
Yes, I said to Corin when we came out tonight, I said, you know, the food's always good. She wanted to know if she could get a son and a daughter down here. I said, God, the food just gets better and better here, and I mean that. And yeah, and it's hard to stay away here because I can't just eat and drink all day.
But you have a fantastic relationship with Bryn, and you've been owners together for many years.
Oh yes, from every aspect, rugby, racing, we share a lot of interests together, and I mean he's a stunning guy, and he's got a big heart. And it's always great to be here, and I wish you and him and all of us well on Saturday. It's going to be a great day, I'm sure, as it always is.
Horse lover and racehorse owner Jill Warner is with me now. She's made the trip all the way from Val de Vie to be here tonight at the Vasco panel discussion for Saturday's racing. It's your first time, Jill, and it's been a fun evening, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been great fun, Fee. Really enjoyed ourselves. We have never been to Vasco's before. Clearly we will be coming back again, but actually having an evening listening to everybody, people's tips for the day, and watching Whiskey Baron, of course, come forth. Well, actually 3 out of the 4 South African racehorses coming forth in Maidan today. Very exciting evening, yes.
It certainly has been a fun evening so far. There's always a good vibe here at Vasco's, and of course it's the finale of the season on Saturday. You've got a runner, and it looks to be a really good day's racing.
Yes, we're really looking forward to it. Actually, it's been incredibly lucky that although we have no rain here in Cape Town, where we were supposed to be this week up in the Pilanesberg, they have thunderstorms and rain, but we have a daughter flying in from Paris who said, "Mummy, I don't want to come to the rain. Please, can I come to the sun?" So we cancelled the trip to the Pilanesberg, and we're here for the racing on Saturday.
Justin Veermark from Green Street Bloodstock is one of my regular guests on the Breeding to Win show, and we often come here to do our interviews at Vasco da Gama, and what a fantastic vibe there always is. And tonight was no different. We had the panel discussion ready for the race day on Saturday, which Justin and I were on, and it's been lots of fun. Great evening.
Yeah, absolutely. As you touched on, always here for Breeding to Win shows, and I think we did a panel last year for this as well, and for the Sun Met as well. So a good panel discussion this evening that went out live on teletrack.com, and fantastic card. I think the Vasco's Prawn Festival Day is building up with momentum every year, and no different this year. I think it's going to be a good crowd, one of the bigger crowds we get over our summer carnival here in the Cape, and a fantastic day of racing. It'll be packed with people as well.
I certainly think this panel discussion is a good idea. It gets everyone sort of in the mood.
Yeah, look, it definitely does a build-up, helps with the build-up to the event, and all the major players here as well, the guys from Vasco, Graham Smith, Bryn Russell, everyone, Marsh Shirtliff as well, and people like to talk about their horses running on the day. We had jockeys here, some trainers as well, and it just adds that little bit extra for the day on Saturday.
Well, it's hard to believe we're at the end of the Cape Summer season, but it looks to be a nice day's racing, and it looks like we should have a lot of people on course.
Yeah, the Vasco Prix de Cap, always a great race, a weight for age fillies race. We've seen a lot of these fillies and the Colts and the Jetmaster Stakes in feature races during the summer season, and this is always a good end to the season, a good festive event at Kenilworth, and bumper crowd, good horses as well before we move on to the season in Durban. A lot of it quietens down afterwards quite a bit as trainer sends strings up to Natal for the winter season, and this is always a good ending to the summer season here.
We've had an absolutely fantastic evening here at Vasco da Gama, hosted by Bryn Russell. The panel discussion has been lots of fun and given everyone lots of information. It is always the most amazing vibe, and we're always made to feel very, very welcome here. The Breeding to Win team come here often to do interviews, and with me now is Bryn. It's been a lovely evening, Bryn.
No, you're putting me on the spot, but thank you very much. I think you must go to you guys, because you guys have been huge supporters of the Vasco. I think it has been a good evening, but the panel has completely confused everyone. You brought Pete Stan on and he was speaking English, and now no one knows what the hell's going on.
Well, as I said, it's a lovely place for us to come and do our interviews, and I know the racing crowd love it here, and we always feel so welcome. Great food, great drinks, fantastic.
You're saying all the right things, Fiona. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond, but thank you very much. Bye, donkey, and Kos Kukulu.
And most importantly, we're all here getting ready for Saturday's race day, the Vasco race day, the Prawn Festival, and it looks to be a super card, great racing, and a great day's racing, and well advertised. I think there's going to be a lot of people on course.
Yeah, no, I think the coverage that we've been given is way beyond our punching weight, but apparently it's going to rain on Saturday, so maybe God's going to smile on us, and if it rains on Saturday, we'll say thank you very much.
Well, I'm sure we'll still have lots of fun come rain or shine, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening and enjoying a few drinks at Vasco's.
Fiona, thank you very much. Okay.
Whiskey Baron and Legal Eagle. It's Whiskey Baron who's claimed the advantage. No more from Legal Eagle, and Whiskey Baron goes on to win. Edict of Nantes is in front, the yellow cap. He's going on strongly. Nothing got a chance on him now. Edict of Nantes drawing away in the closing stages. Goes away to win it comfortably.
Edict of Nantes going great guns from El Sahem. Horizon's back third. Edict of Nantes from El Sahem. Edict of Nantes takes it to another level. Lady of the House, give me 6 on the inside. Lady of the House pulls it out. Captain America from Trip to Heaven, and Captain America going great guns. Captain America to shine. But the leader Sail South, and it's Sail South going on. Sail South will win it. Captain America second.
horse is going to slaughter them at the Canadian International.
I'll have another has won the Kentucky Derby.
Here is Soft Falling Rain pulling clear. Soft Falling Rain won the SA Nursery by 3.
Well, that's a wrap for tonight's show. Don't forget to join us next month for more Breeding to Win action. From myself and the Breeding to Win team, good night and good racing.
And the King of the Goals has won.
Carry on Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.